Today is Wednesday, November the 19th at Vincent Corporation in Tampa, Florida. Today we're testing blueberries that we got from Marshall Ingredients. We're going to be running them in this CP4 screw press. Probably the production size unit for Marshall will be a CP10. This has a little 4-inch diameter screw. The 10 would have, of course, a 10-inch diameter screw. There's a look in the inlet hopper. There's a feed portion of screw that pushes the material into the screen section. And inside of the screen section, there's interruptions in the flighting. And everywhere there's an interruption, there's a tooth that sticks down in there. 4 interruptions in a CP4 to help prevent co-rotation. That design helps expose more of the product to the screen surface by tumbling the product a bit. And it also helps the press absorb fluctuations in input volume or consistency without changing what comes out past the discharge cone. The discharge cone is actuated by an air cylinder and a lever arm mechanism. It is used to apply back pressure to the material as it's trying to come out. It's adjustable. In this case, we have it set to a relatively low 25, just over 25 psi. And the presses come with a reversing valve. So here you see the cone is in, but the wheels are not pressing against it. I throw the lever, and so now you have the 25 psi on the cone that's now acting against the cylinder, acting against the cone. I don't know what I just said, but I think you get the idea. So now Andrew's going to start loading in the material and we'll see what happens. We're running this press at 60 hertz, normal speed, and that relatively low back pressure in order to hopefully get results that are repeatable in a larger machine. This had just been used for another test, so that's why the press is a bit wet. But you start to see liquid coming out early on in the screen, and you'll see things. You'll see the liquid move from one end to the other as the screen fills up. We have a pail to catch liquor and a bin to catch pressed cake. Andrew, at some point, you can leave a little in there that I'll use for an as-received sample. The first bit that comes past the cone is usually a little damp. That's why you see some dripping there. But then as the machine fills up, it starts to get drier. In fact, you can see the darker mass now that came out behind the messy stuff. So that's more like what the cake will typically look like. Lots of flow of fresh liquor through the screen, looks really good. You can see a pretty, more than a pencil thick flow of juice. From the bottom of the pail, so that's going to be it's going to be the wettest, so it'll end up being the largest contrast really between the as received and the press cake. So we may not have the as received number exactly right, but the press cake will be, regardless of how wet it is coming in from the bucket, the press cake should stay the same. So from the top of the pail to the bottom of the pail should produce the same press cake. Oh, it's okay. That big piece was just from what fell as it was going into the hopper. A little bit fell there. It just went on the outside of the hopper. No, just to point out that is not material that made its way through the screen.
We'll let that stuff get as cold as we can and do that just in the morning.
We'll get more dry ice. We'll get more dry ice when the machine is modified.
It's supposed to be exactly.
I'll talk to Brian.
Just ice tonight?
Yeah, we need dry ice.
Going down slow.
Yeah, we may. The little CP4 tends to bridge because we can't have a little 5-inch square opening. You'd never get anything to go in. So we're trying to go from an 8-inch opening down to a 4-inch screw. And you see this angle there in the hopper. That exacerbates bridging, which tends to happen in the CP4 more so than any other larger machines. A CP10 has more like a 12-inch square opening for a 10-inch screw. There's very little necking down that has to be done, so bridging is not a problem in the larger units. I'm going to get a yield calculation here by measuring the weight of the press cake versus the weight of the juice, and then I'll also run some samples for moisture analysis. Sample of the as received, of the juice, and of the press cake. This is looking exceptionally good. Okay, so we have almost an empty hopper. Tapering off a little bit because the inlet hopper is empty. So we're just going to push the remainder as far as we can get it. Okay, I'm going to end the video here, and we can let it run another couple of minutes just to press out the rest of the stuff, but I'm going to take this opportunity to collect some samples.